YouTube series, and in that series I am going to cover major questions asked by various interview in actual interview, real-time interview. Whatever questions they have asked to the various candidates, I have taken those from the nets and from the real life experience, and I am going to add those questions for the practice purpose. Just by seeing or listening those videos, you can definitely get to know that what type of question they ask. So first questions, they always in interview will ask about you to the introduction. So please in the introduction tell about yourself, some part of educations, then projects you have works and key skill. Please remember, try to explain here key skills and the projects you have works also in little bit. After that, definitely they will going to ask you explain whatever project you have done, whatever, or if you tell them whatever project you have done in your previous company, they will going to select anyone and you have need to tell them that project detail. Okay, after that, most important their question will be about the data, how you have got the data. Okay, so according to your conditions from client, from SQL server, from web scraping, or from anywhere, how you have get data, you have need to tell them very well. After that, every interview will going to go through that how you have handled data, means data pre-processing and EDA. Third part will be EDA. EDA means exploratory data analysis. So every interview will going to go through this step and you have need to give answer very well. So in the data pre-processing, they will going to ask you those NaN values, mean, mode, median, then outliers, then categorical values. Those are the very simple and basic one questions. Okay, in the EDA, they will going to ask you what is univariate and what is multivariate. Means you have need to give them each type of EDA, how we have done independent features with target one, it's a one-to-one EDA, so it will become a univariate part. Then multivariate means two independent features, two or more than two with target variable. So, and last one is the more, we will compare more independent features with each other and also with the target variable, so it's become ensemble type. So here are mainly they will ask what are three types, or tell me in short and in details what are types. So there will be two or three types. So last one is the ensemble. So it's indirectly a model which consists of random forest or XGBoost. So all those model have specifically XGBoost or random forest have rich lasso regression parameters. Through that we can indirectly do a EDA analysis, or they will drop the less important features. Then second one is the wrapper method, and first one is the embed method. So embed means one to one, one independent and one with the target feature. Here comparison, I think it's a wrapper word. Here two independent features are compared with the target one. So there are various methods such as, here are the various methods such as in correlation, Kendall correlation. If there are two categorical, means one dependent feature will be a continuous, and if your target value is the categorical, then Kendall is used. Suppose if both dependent and independent are categorical, that time chi-square is used. Suppose dependent and independent both are dependent on each other, then Pearson coefficient is used. So please, I have already covered all those in my videos, and those are very basic. But what happens if you do not revise them very well, interview can ask you, and if suppose you will fail to answer all those, then definitely they will not going to select you. And here in the wrapper method, there is a feed forward selection, then back forward selection. All those methods exist here. Please go through the lectures or do it properly. Okay, So in the interview they will ask, and they have asked me also all those questions, and please be prepared very well. Okay, after that you need to, I will going to cover the specific questions asked by them. Okay, they have asked me, tell me the linear regression, equation of linear regression, and they have also told me the assumptions of linear regression. Please remember, every interview or if you doing data science or machine learning, you should know those assumptions. First one is the linearity, then second one is the no multicollinearity, no multicollinearity. Then third one is the homoscedasticity, fifth one, and one is the independent or normal distribution. So you just should not know on those terms, but you should know very well how those are dependent on each other. One dependent feature is should be dependent on target one. Here will be no features should be dependent on target feature. Suppose if you have one target feature here, and if those features are dependent on each other, then definitely last one will going to fail. Model will not going to predict them very well. Homoscedasticity is nothing but spread of error, how data points are spreaded constantly from the mean base fit line, so that condition should be followed. And normal distribution means graph of the distribution should be distributed in bell-shaped curve, so there should be relation of standard deviation, mean, mode and median. And definitely they will going to ask you for the how those data points are correlated to each other, and they will going to ask you, give me a code related to this one, how you actually have done all those. So for linearity there is no need, but for collinearity, multicollinearity or normal distribution, there is one function, sns dot plot, and you have need to give the condition graph is equal to Kendall. Okay, for homoscedasticity you have need to calculate actual predicted value by the model and actual value or target value, and through this scatter plot you actually visualize homoscedasticity. And for normal distribution you have one function, sns dot box plot, and in that you have need to give the conditions of all those points. So if you are unable to tell, then it will going to catch you that you have not worked very well. Or though we search sometimes terms on the on the internet and all, but sometimes they want. Okay, after that many times they will ask which models you have selected, why, and why you move for the next model, and you should know the theory for each and every model, why you are using linear model, logistic model, or decision tree, random forest, or XGBoost. And suppose they also ask what is XGBoost. Suppose if you tell them XGBoost, then they will going to ask you what is XGBoost, explain in detail. Okay, and they will going to ask you, it's a tough question if you don't remember. They will ask you the parameters of the XGBoost. So you have need to remember all those parameters. So XGBoost is nothing but the decision trees but boosting type. So there are n estimator parameter. n estimator means number of tree. Then second one is there are L1 and L2 regularization, those are the ridge and lasso. And third one is also the how splitting is happening, the leap size, then depth size, and there are also option for the categorical values. So all those parameters should be remembered, and you should able to recall them, and you should implement all those. Then another one is important question is about the difference of XGBoost then AdaBoost. Though both algorithm look similar, but there is a very well difference between them, so I will going to cover that difference here. I will draw here one line. This one is the ADA boost, and second one is the XGBoost. They have also asked about what is the difference between ADA boost, XGBoost, and CAD boost. Okay, so please remember, in the ADA boost what happens, it will going to take decision trees. Based on the decision trees, those trees also always connected in the series manner in the boosting algorithm, but here it will going to take those trees, and what will happen here, it will going to take initially weak learners. It will combine all weak learners. Okay, and it will going to take weak learners, and it will going to means convert them into the strong learner, weak learner to strong learner. Okay, but what happens in the XGBoost, instead of taking all weak learners, it will going to go directly one by one trees. So it will going to take one tree, then it will going to calculate error, and based on that error will going to pass to the second one tree, and based on the previous one error, next tree's weight also optimize. So same conditions happens for the third tree. So here one important is, it uses the second time higher derivative, because it does not take all weak learners at that time at the same time, but here ADA boost takes all learner at the same time. That's the very important difference. Then another one is the outliers. ADA boost gets heavily impacted by outliers. Okay, and here in the example there is option for handling outliers, so it will not get impacted by outliers. Also here is, we are not combining all weak learners at a time, so it's get less impacted. Then third point is about the derivative. It's just uses weak learners, calculate all those losses and give to the second one, and all those are combined, but it's a second derivative, so please be sure. Fourth one is the hyperparameter. Here are less hyperparameter. Okay, here we cannot pass L1, L2 regularization and all those, but here you can pass L1, L2 regularization. Then also here is we can pass learning rate parameter. So learning rate parameter is also available here, and I will tell you one more points. Performance is the next points. For the performance, XGBoost uses very heavy. XGBoost uses parallelization of CPU, so that's why it's very much faster, but ADA boost does not uses parallelization of CPU, so it's just adaptive boosting, not using parallelization. Okay, please remember that one. Then I have already told L1, L2 regularization. XGBoost includes various algorithm techniques such as L1, L2 to prevent the complexity of model, but those are not available in the ADA boost. I have also covered ADA boost as sensitive to the outliers. Okay, so I have already told that ADA boost assigns higher weights to the misclassifier, or or weak learner. So in the XGBoost, it will optimize the second learner based on the previous learner. So please remember that one. ADA boost can work with any base learning arrow such as decision tree, while XGBoost is a specific base learner called decision tree with gradient boosting. So in the XGBoost, gradient boosting is necessary, but in ADA boost it's not necessary. Okay, so all those are the differences. So I hope you have got all those, and please remember, I will going to add that point once again, hyperparameters of the XGBoost, not XGBoost, but XGBoost. and those are asked again and again by many interviewers. So I will going to give a list with the explanation. So those are the first one is the max depth. That parameter also can we give. Then we can give there is also fine tuning method also. Just wait, just to give the name of upper parameters. Then n estimator I have already told. N estimator means how number of trees should be created there. So then L will be learning rate, and learning rate also known as eta. Learning rate also known as eta. So it will going to indirectly take the step size of all those step sizes while boosting. Then max depth is n estimator is. Then also there is a subsample for sampling happens. Then call sample by tree determines the fraction of features used for training data. So that also you remember, call sample by tree. Then there is gamma you should also remember that. It specifies the minimum loss reduction required for to make further partition of meat. Minimum loss reduction required, and based on that there will be splitting happen. Minimum loss reduction required. Okay, that's the gamma. Then lambda, this is the L2 regularization. It will drop features based on it. Then there is alpha means L1 regularization or its reach. Lambda means lasso. In estimator I have stored. And there is also one function, early stopping ground. It will stop the training if there is no improvement. Stop the training if there is no improvement. So please remember all those functions very well, because if you are giving interview, most of the time if you tell XGBoost or any boosting algorithms and it's required anywhere, they will going to ask you all those questions. So I have covered all those points here, and please let me know how you feel about that one. If you have any doubt or correction or anything, please tell me. Sorry for a long video, and have a happy day. Thank you. Bye bye.